Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. So, kickoff is fast approaching. The stadiums are getting prepped, and let's be honest, the whole world is holding its breath right now for the greatest show on earth. Today, we're taking a super fun, structured look at the historic 2026 World Cup. But more importantly, we are breaking down the ultimate tool to absolutely elevate your watch parties to legendary status. I'm talking about the semifinals confirmed bingo mega bundle. Look, whether you're a diehard tactical analyst or you're literally just there for the snacks and the drama, this explainer is going to show you exactly how this massive event and this specific game bundle are perfectly engineered for maximum entertainment. 48. Just think about that number for a second. It is honestly hard to wrap your head around the unprecedented scale of this upcoming tournament. Because for the very first time in the history of the beautiful game, 48 teams are going to be competing on the world stage. And you know what that means, right? More matches, more heartbreak, way more underdog stories, and a much longer, far more grueling road to the semifinals. We are talking about a true global gauntlet here. The sheer volume of football we're about to consume is just staggering. And honestly, that sets the perfect stage for why you really need a structured way to enjoy all the chaos once we finally narrow it down to the Final Four.
Okay, let's dive into this for a second, because to really understand the sheer volume of this event, we have to look at its massive logistical footprint. This sprawling festival of football runs from June 11th all the way to July 19th, and it's going to be spread out across 16 different host cities. Plus, for the first time ever, we've got 3 nations co-hosting: the USA, Canada, and Mexico. We're talking millions of miles traveled, completely different climates, massive time zone shifts, the whole shebang. And this immense pressure cooker of a tournament, it all culminates at MetLife Stadium, officially recognized as the New York-New Jersey Stadium for the grand finale. But to even get a sniff of that stadium, these teams have to survive the semifinals.
Which brings us to the absolute fantasy Final Four. After navigating that insane 48-team gauntlet, this bingo bundle is built entirely around the absolute dream matchups that everyone on the planet wants to see. Just picture it. On one side of the bracket, semifinal 1 gives us Spain versus France, set for July 14th at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime. Then, on the complete opposite side of the bracket, you've got semifinal 2, England taking on Argentina. I mean, wow. These are the usual top-ranked nations' absolute football royalty, clashing in matchups loaded with historic rivalries and generational talent. The tension for these 2 games alone is going to be off the charts.
So how do you actually capture all that tension, the memes, the tactics, and the sheer drama of these colossal semifinal games? Well, you use 160. That's the exact number of unique cards included in the semifinals confirmed bingo mega bundle. Because now we're shifting from the players on the pitch directly to you, the viewer at home. This bundle comes fully armed with 160 completely unique bingo cards, which are spread across 8 meticulously designed PDF packs. It's totally built from the ground up for a highly customized watch party experience. And you know, the real beauty of this bundle is in its logical categorization. The creators totally get that not everyone watches football the exact same way. So you get to pick a playstyle that perfectly matches your specific group's vibe. For the broader audience, the Watch Party Edition hits all those classic moments, like agonizing VAR interventions or those dramatic, heart-stopping late goals. But hey, if you have that one friend who simply won't stop talking about formations, just hand them the Tactical Nerd card. They'll be happily crossing off squares for a high press, a false 9 dropping deep, mentions of expected goals, or an inverted fullback. And finally, you've got cliché and culture, which brilliantly taps into the broadcast narrative. We're talking squares for mentions of tacos, poutine, those endless callbacks to the 1994 World Cup, or graphics showing off the 16 host cities. It is just so brilliantly segmented.
Now for a more adult, lively watch party environment, the drinking or sip game edition literally turns the most frustrating parts of modern football into a reason to celebrate. You take a sip when that dreaded VAR logo flashes on the screen, or when a team engages in some blatant time wasting. And this brilliantly illustrates what makes the bundle so great. It has these fantastic cultural touchpoints, like taking a sip when the broadcast cuts to the infamous bald Coach Cam. It just takes all those shared, totally relatable nuances of a football broadcast and turns them into a highly engaging, interactive game for those 18 and over, emphasizing responsible play, of course.
But wait, the bundle goes even deeper, shifting directly into the specific semifinal matchups we talked about earlier. These are the team editions, and they are tailored to the exact narratives of those Final Four nations. So if you're holding a France card, you are on high alert for Mbappé sprints, Kanté interceptions, and chants of Alele Bleu. Spain cards, you're tracking Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, and those long sequences of tiki-taka involving 15 or more passes. The England edition is hilarious and so specific. Alongside Kane, Bellingham, and Saka, you actually have squares for the crowd singing Sweet Caroline and literally a coming home counter. And of course, for Argentina, you are on the lookout for moments of pure Messi magic. The inevitable Dibu Martinez mind games in goal, Lautaro making runs, and the fans belting out muchachos.
Behind the scenes, the Pro Pack mechanics are really what make this a genuinely premium experience. Each card features your standard 5x5 grid right, complete with a free center square. The headers are color-coded by edition and designed with high contrast, so they're super easy to read whether you print them out or just pull them up on your phone. Every card is clearly numbered too, like card 7 of 20. Now what's really interesting here is that there's a deep pool of 32 to 35 phrases per individual edition. That randomized pool guarantees that out of those 160 cards, absolutely no two cards are identical, meaning every single person at your watch party has a completely unique path to victory.
Okay, so how do you actually execute this? Well, the rules of engagement are highly visual and incredibly straightforward. Step 1, keep your eyes glued to the match and mark a square the second the event happens live on the broadcast. Step 2, race your friends to get 5 in a row. That could be a column, a diagonal, or you can even play for a full house if it's a super long, dramatic game. Step 3, be the very first to confidently shout bingo. And just a quick reminder for the sip edition, a sip can absolutely be water, soda, or beer. It is entirely customizable to whatever your group is comfortable with.
So, we've seen the unbelievable scale of this 48-team tournament, we've broken down those amazing fantasy matchups, and we've analyzed the mechanics of the 160 unique cards in the semifinals confirmed mega bundle. It takes this massive, sometimes completely overwhelming global event and distills it right down into a localized, highly entertaining game right there in your living room. Honestly, the only thing left to decide is your personal strategy. When the referee blows that opening whistle for the semifinals, what kind of fan are you going to be? Are you going to be the tactical nerd analyzing those inverted fullbacks, or will you grab an Argentina card and just rely on Messi magic to get you to bingo? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Get those cards ready, and most importantly, enjoy the beautiful game.